Section 2.4 is called Solutions and Applications of Right Triangles. When using trigonometric functions, we are going to find the missing side or missing angle. First question in this homework practice problem is, we have a triangle ABC is given and angle C is 90 degrees. So it's better if we try to picture what we have. So we have a right triangle and an angle C is 90 degrees. So I have to label this corner as C and it's triangle ABC. This is the triangle we have. Angle A is given and its measure is 31.6 degrees. And then length C is given. Length C is the hypotenuse is given as 18.3. So we're going to find the missing angle B, which is very easy. In a triangle, all angles have to add up to a 180. So if one angle is 90, that means these two angles, they have to add up to a 90 degree as well. So to find the angle B, so this is the representation for angle. To find angle B, I just have to do 90 degree minus 31.6. And then the answer will be equal to 58.4. So that's going to go to this part. For the angle B, the measure we are missing is 58.4 degrees. Now, only one side is given, hypotenuse is given as 18.3, and they want me to solve for side A and side B. So now, in order to find the side A, I can use the sine of angle A. So I know that if I want to calculate sine of angle A, and sine means opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite side and angle A is not unknown. I can actually put the value for angle A. Angle A is given as 31.6. Sine of 31.6 is equal to, its opposite side is A, and its hypotenuse is 18.3. And then when I do cross multiplication, if I want to calculate the side A, all I have to do is multiply sine of 31.6 by 18.3. So from now on, I have to use the calculator. So I'm going to go to the decimals and I have to make sure that I am using degrees. So I'm going to make sure that I'm switching to degrees when I do the, I'll use the decimals. And I need sine of 31.6 times, and then the side I had was 18.3. Just to be on the right side, to be sure, you can put the second number in a decimal if you like, but you don't have to. And then when I read the directions, oh, I didn't have the I don't have the directions here. You have to read carefully how many digits they want for side A. So if they want only 2 digits, 9.59 will be acceptable for side A, 9.59. But if they want more than 2 digits, you have to round accordingly. Now for side B, we need to use the cosine of this angle. So if we set up cosine of 31.6, because cosine of an angle is its adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So the adjacent side is B, and the hypotenuse is 18.3. So when you do cross multiplication again, B will be equal to cosine of 31.6 times 18.3. And then again, we will need a calculator since we don't know the sine and cosine value of this angle. So I am just going to take this with cosine. So the answer will be 15.59. And then this is how we can solve question 1 on homework. Missing angle, and then the missing two sides are here for this question. Question 2 is very similar, so the numbers will change. Again, when I look at this question, before I do anything, I would like to sketch the triangle to understand the location for each angle and each side. So angle C is 90 degrees, so I am just going to label this angle C. And A, B, I can place them randomly after this. And angle B is given as, this angle is given as 64.4. And side B is given, so this is the side B is given as 160. Finding the missing angle is very easy. We know that these two angles, they must add up to a 90 degree. So we just have to do 90 minus 64.4, and whatever the calculator gives me, that will be the answer for A. But to calculate the sides, across of the angle A, we will have side A, and then opposite of angle C, I am going to have the side C. So this is the location for side A, and this is the location for side C. And I need to find both of these missing sides. So I can start setting up the sign for 16.4. Sine of 16.4 is equal to, sine is always opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite side is 116, and the hypotenuse is C. And then when I do cross multiplication now, I will get C times sine of 64.4 is equal to 116. To isolate the C, we have to divide each side by the sine. So C will be 116 divided by sine of 16.4 here. So when I go to the calculator this time, I am just going to delete everything. And then I'm going to use my division sign. On the top, I need 116. And at the bottom, I need sine of 64 point. I'm going to just double check the angle. Yes, I got it right. So the answer will be 128.63. 128.63 is side C. I will need to also solve for side A. For side A, we can use the cosine of 64.4. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. But since I calculated the C on my own, and cosine depends on the C value I calculated, just in case I made a mistake on the C value, I don't want to use cosine. I want to actually use whatever they gave me in the original problem, just in case if I am making any error, I don't lose both parts of the problem. So what I'm saying is, I can use the tangent of 64.4, because calculator will tell me what is tangent of 64.4 anyway. And then to calculate the tangent, we need opposite side divided by adjacent side. Opposite side is given as 116, and adjacent side is A. That's what we want to solve for. When I do cross multiplication, I get A times tangent of 64.4 is equal to 116. So A will be equal to 116 divided by tangent of 64.4 equals. So when I go to the calculator, everybody is going to stay the same, but this function changes from sine to cotangent, and the answer becomes 55.58. So I have the side A now, I have the side C, and I have the angle A, which is everything they're asking me to find for question 2. We're going to model question 3. I'm sure it's the same idea, but we're going to practice one more time. Again, we have a right triangle, and an angle C is given as 90 degrees. And then this is angle A, and its measure is given as 33.8. This is our side A, and we don't know its measure. This will be the vertex B, and then side B is given as 27.4. So finding the missing angle B is the easiest, because we know that angle A and angle B, they have to add up to a 90 degree. So we just have to do 90 minus 33.8 using a calculator, and whatever the calculator gives you, that's your missing angle for this problem. For sides, I have the angle. I'm gonna solve for the opposite side, and I have the adjacent side. So I think the best function to use here is the tangent. So I know that tangent 33.8, which will be grabbed from the calculator, this decimal number, the calculator will give me what is tangent of 33.8. Its opposite side is A, and its adjacent side is 27.4. To find the A, I need to do cross multiplication. So A will be equal to tangent of 33.8 times 27.4. So we need to go to the calculator again, and we will need this work from the previous question. So this time we need tangent of I already forgot the angle, it's 33.8. And then we're trying to multiply this by 27.4. And then the answer is 18.34. 18A is 18.34. This is how we're going to calculate A. This question also needs me to find the C. Now, C is the hypotenuse in this right triangle. So I have the adjacent side given and the hypotenuse for this angle. So I am going to use the cosine of 33.8. And cosine of an angle is always adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. Adjacent is given as 27.4 and hypotenuse is C. When I do cross multiplication, C will be equal to 27.4 divided by cosine of 33.8. And then using the calculator, we just need to, we can divide this, we can erase this whole thing. 27.4 is going to stay with us. And then we need a division sign after this. And the denominator is cosine of 33.8. And then this one gives me, I just have to make sure that I am putting a parenthesis around the angle just to avoid any calculated mistakes. It's 32.97. So 32.97 is expected answer for third part of the question today. Question 4 is a word problem about the angle of elevation. Question says the shadow of a vertical tower is 78.0 feet long when the angle of elevation of the sun is 34.0. Find the height of the tower. So let's just picture what we have in this problem. So in this problem, this is the tower that we don't know the height of. So this will be the tower, and we don't know the height of the tower. And this will be the shadow of the tower. And shadow of the tower is given as 78 feet. And then they're going to perform a right triangle, and then this will be the 90-degree angle. And then this angle over here is called the angle of elevation. And this angle of elevation is given as 34.0. Now, once we are able to construct a triangle, we see that we are trying to find the opposite side for angle 34, and its adjacent side is 78. So when we need to create a relationship between opposite, adjacent, and the angle, the function we need is tangent. So we're going to write tangent of 34.0 is equal to its opposite side, which is h, and its adjacent side, which is 78. Then we do cross multiplication. So height of the tower will be equal to tangent of 34 times 78. So we're going to go here and we need to calculate tangent of 34. And then we're going to times this by 78. Okay, so tangent of 34 and 78. So again, here, the answer is negative, which is not possible. So I'm going to troubleshoot my number. First, I want to put my angle around a parenthesis to see if this is going to solve the problem, and it does. So Desmos wants me to place the angle after the trigonometric function in a parenthesis. So the answer will be 52.61. So the answer will be 52.61 for this question. Question 5 says, suppose that you are headed toward a plateau which is 19.2 meters high, and the angle of elevation to the top of the plateau is 14.5. So let's just try to draw. This is going to be the angle of elevation here, and then this will be the height for the plateau. So this plateau is 19.2 meters high. And then this is our angle of elevation. an angle of elevation is given as 14.5 degrees. So the question is, how far are you from the base to the plateau? So this distance is x, and we need to calculate the x. We have the angle, we have the opposite side, and we need to solve for the adjacent side. So the function we need is the tangent. So tangent of 14.5 is equal to its opposite side divided by adjacent side. It's 19.2 over x. And then when we do cross multiplication, x will be equal to 19.2 divided by tangent of 14.5. And when you put this expression to the decimals calculator, you will find the answer. Question 6 says that a building 77.87 feet tall has a shadow that is 82.12 feet long. And this time it is asking for the angle of elevation of the sun to the nearest hundredth of a degree. So let's picture our situation. This is the building, and building is 77.87 feet long. And then this will be the shadow of the building. Shadow will be on the ground. And then the shadow is 82.12. As you can see, there will be a right triangle performing here, and this is the 90-degree angle. And this angle over here, I'm going to call it angle X. This is the angle of elevation. And this time we need to solve the triangle for this angle of elevation. Now, if I am looking for this angle, I know that I have the information about its opposite side and its adjacent side. So I can set up this equation, tangent of X is equal to opposite side, which is 77.87, and its adjacent side is 82.12. And then I want to find out the angle using a calculator. So this is what I need to put on the calculator to find the x. If I have the tangent information, I need to put arctan, or I can put tangent of -1 power. Is going to give me the answer because we're trying to look for the angle whose tangent value will be equal to 77.87 divided by 82 over 12. So here we will need, you can just type arctan, arc10, or you can just write 10 to the power of -1. They're going to both do the same thing. And then for numerator, we need 77.87 in my case. And for the denominator, we need 82.12. And this one now tells me that the angle is 43.48 because they needed the answer to the nearest hundredth. So that means I need 2 digits for the 3.48 is the expected answer here. This is the answer for number 6.